Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm going to be painting on a pumpkin. I'm going to be using these craft sort of all surface acrylic paints. While my cat runs around like a crazy in the background, I apologize. They're a lot of fun, but they don't keep to my schedule. So this is what I'm going to be doing. This is a pumpkin my son picked out for me. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about the history because it's fascinating of pumpkins and pumpkin carving, and then some ideas, some alternatives that can be done sort of in place of or in lieu of carving. Where we live, again, we have high humidity and moisture, so carving kind of needs to be done 1 to 2 days prior at the earliest, just because otherwise they will mold and then collapse on themselves because of the humidity and moisture. So I am currently painting, and I'm going to be doing some sloppy flowers, and then when I am done, I'm probably going to go over and outline that in black, but I won't have time to do that on camera. So what I'll do for my Monday Plan With Me video on the 31st is I will show you the finished product of what I finished painting on this pumpkin. So the history of carving on pumpkins is awesome. So they think the origin, and I'm getting this from the Britannica online, which is a great source of things for history and stuff, just like Wikipedia. And they think it's an Irish myth that came about from a guy they called Stingy Jack. And this is sort of a myth that he tricked the devil for his own monetary gain. And in doing so, in this myth, he eventually passes away and God won't let him into heaven and the devil won't let him into hell. So he has to roam the earth for all eternity as punishment. So what folks would do in Ireland was they would take a different fruit. They actually took a root vegetable, and turnips is what they originally carved with. And they would carve like demonic faces and stuff to frighten away Jack's wandering soul. And then when a bunch of Irish immigrants moved to the United States, they began using jack-o'-lanterns from pumpkins. So there's a whole thing on how Halloween came to be and the mix of different festivals from Celtic festival and things celebrated in Britain versus things celebrated in Ireland, and then all of them kind of coming together with the Roman Catholic Church on All Saints Day, and everything kind of got put together and kept, and in doing so we now carve pumpkins, which I think is just a really cool thing. Anyway, and you don't have to be Irish to participate. And I know some countries, they don't have Halloween, and it's something that sort of travelers and folks not from the area are bringing to the area. It's just a fun, carving pumpkins and decorating pumpkins is just a really interesting, unique, creative surface to work on. And if that's something that you have never tried, it might be really fun to give that a whirl. Ooh, I like this color as well. This reminds me of the 1980s. I can't with this. Anyway, so alternatives. So where I go for inspiration and ideas for pumpkins and decorating is Pinterest. Now, a decade ago when I was getting an account, it used to be invitation only, and you had to wait 30 days for an invite from Pinterest, the company itself. But nowadays, anybody can create a Pinterest account, and it's just a really great, quick way to see a bunch of ideas all at once and just sort of get inspired and, kind of feel motivated to want to create some of these things. And so of the ones I've seen that were really unique, there's the one where folks take a sort of bin and they fill it with water and they pour in some extra nail polish, and then they swirl the nail polish around with a toothpick to create a marbling effect. and then they kind of dunk their pumpkin in. And so now their pumpkin has this really cool oil-based marbled paint on it. And that looks really, really beautiful. And that's like a quick one. You know, that one might be fun with younger kids. Things that are fun that like are out of the box, like putting temporary tattoos on pumpkins. I just think that's absolutely so much fun. Like that could be an absolute riot. Decoupage, and you can decoupage all kinds of things. Magazine cutouts, newspapers, tissue paper, you know, anything you can think of to cut up and incorporate can be decoupaged on with like Mod Podge or something like that. You can do some sort of sealant on top. Stickers, that's for, you know, if you are a sticker person and have a wonderful sticker collection and want to incorporate that, that could be a ton of fun as well. Permanent markers, Sharpies, they're the metallic sort of pen touch. I'll link some pens that work really well for creating on fruit, writing on fruit skins. Yeah, the Poscas are a paint pen. They would work as well, especially if you want to do something kind of quick or interesting, or use the background color as a colored substrate and you just want black outlines. You can put calligraphy on your pumpkin. Maybe you want to write your Halloween menu or a favorite quote, or people sometimes use tiny pumpkins as place settings and write people's names as sort of a name tag on a piece of fruit. I've also seen that done with persimmons and pomegranates. I just got some paint on my pumpkin. One of my favorite quotes is from C.S. Lewis from The Magician's Nephew. It's like a prequel to Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I will link that quote. You know, make your choice, adventurous stranger, strike the bell or buy the danger, or wonder till it drives you mad, what would have happened if you had. That's a fun one. You know, Quoth the Raven Nevermore by Edgar Allan Poe. There's some really fun poems and quotes you can kind of write around and decorate with. Folks melt crayons on top and let it sort of bleed through the lines all the way down, and that looks really, really cool. Bedazzle sequins. You could glue on anything, pom-poms, sequins, any kind of jewels, little fun little crystals or beads. We used to do a thing, we had a local hardware store that had odds and end buckets of just weird bolts, nuts, screws, nails, and for Halloween they would put those out and kids could hammer those into pumpkins and decorate your pumpkin that way and make designs, and it looked really, really cool. Dried flowers, leaves, again, you can Mod Podge and decoupage things like those if you press things or just want to include sort of a more fall look. Let's see, you can incorporate toys. The thing with the dinosaur coming out of the pumpkin, like the pumpkins in a dinosaur egg, is really, really cute. Or toy trucks or something coming out, like This Is a Road or something, would be really, really adorable. Some folks Dremel. It's a tool that makes little tiny holes all over, and they're perfectly spherical and they look really neat, and then they make sort of mandala designs or constellations on their pumpkin that look really, really beautiful. You can cover these with fabrics, with lace or netting if you want to paint over the netting and sort of create a mermaid scale type situation, or just leave it on so it looks spooky. And then you can sort of glue candy onto this. If you want to do like a Halloween, sort of a faux Halloween gingerbread house, you can glue candy onto your pumpkin. And do something like that would be a lot of fun. Just be careful of like rodents and insects and ants and stuff, depending on where you leave it. You can stack them. You can stack your pumpkins and create different animals and different looking designs with 2 and 3 stacked pumpkins. You know, or you can paint them with your house colors. So if you have some leftover paint, exterior house paint, you can have them match your aesthetic of your house. with house paint, or have it match your interior and put little designs or words or whatever you want to have on them. Again, Pinterest has such fun ideas of folks just thinking out of the box, incorporating their favorite like cartoons or things from their childhood that are Halloween related, you know, Peanuts or Garfield, things like that. Anyway, I hope this video inspired you, gave you some ideas. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.